Hi, everyone. I'm Leanna, a quantum healing hypnosis practitioner and soul-led travel advisor. I personally do soul-centered healing hypnosis. I'm sharing my past lives with you so I can share things that I know now about them, as well as look up the location for those lives in the Akashic records and then compare them to my astrocartography map to see if I can find any patterns. So I'm getting ready to share a past life with you in Atlantis. I did this session with the amazing Heather Hink from Quantum Healing Within, who I'll link below. But you'll want to stick around to the end to hear the other information. And then if you're interested in your own self-healing journey and helping that journey through hypnosis by clearing your energy, learning about your past life and releasing past life traumas or cycles, as well as asking any questions to your higher self, I would be honored to help you with that journey. And I have a 22% off promo right now through April 20th. So you can go to my website and check that out. I hope you
I
enjoy
want
this
you to
video.
walk all the way through this tunnel and on to the other side and be into the perfect place for us to start our journey today. So I'll count backwards from 3 to 1, and you will be there. 3, walking through this tunnel of time, selecting the perfect lifetime and traveling there now. 2, almost there. And 1, stepping through the tunnel, through the portal, and on to the other side, and be there now. And as you look around in this place, tell me the first things that you sense, you feel, or you notice around you.
There's grass below my feet and it's hot.
Are you wearing anything on your feet, or are you barefoot?
I think I have on sandals.
And do you get a sense if you're male or female?
Female.
How old do you feel in this body?
I'm young. I think I'm kind of small.
Mm-hmm.
Child.
Very good. And take a look at what you're wearing. Tell me what your clothes look like.
It's like just a plain white dress. It's very light.
Very good. And as you scan up your body, take a look at your head, your hair. Tell me what you see.
My hair is very light in color. Like almost white. I have blue eyes. I'm very young.
Wonderful. And as you scan down the body, do you notice anything that you're carrying or holding in your hands?
No, I'm not holding anything. I want to run around. I think I'm trying to play.
Okay. So let's do that. Bring your attention back to this place where you are. Allow yourself to just move forward into the scene. Tell me what you do, what you experience, what you see.
Yeah, there's other kids around and we're running around like we're playing tag or tag, but there's also a ball in the middle. There's a building close by. There's a big man watching. He's watching us like in a protective way.
Do you get a sense of who this big man is?
My father.
Mhm. And how do you feel when you look at your father?
He loves me. He's a little cold, but very protective, very busy usually. Surprised he's watching us, I think.
And these kids that are there playing, do you feel connected to them in any way? Are they siblings? Are they friends? Or a mix?
Yeah, one's a sibling. It's a mix. Sibling, friends.
And so tell me what emotions that you're feeling as you're playing with these other kids.
I'm having fun. It's carefree. We like to run around outside, get dirty. I think my father wants to take me somewhere now.
Mm-hmm. So allow yourself to go with your father and tell me where he takes you.
We're going inside. The building's very nice. It's like marble stone, very clean, white. You just keep walking.
Do you get a sense of what this building is?
Yeah, it's something. It's a like official a state building, official government uh, building where the
Mm-hmm.
leaders work.
As you connect in even more deeply with this building, do you have a sense of what type of government building it is?
It's like where a council works. I'm getting
Mm-hmm.
upset now. My
Okay.
dad's upset.
Tell me what's happened to make him upset.
He's taking me somewhere he doesn't want to take me. There's a room and it has like there's a lot of people behind desks, circular.
And how are you feeling as you walk into this room?
I'm scared. I'm intimidated.
Tell me what happens next.
My father says I have to go away. That these people are going to take me.
Mm-hmm. And does he tell you why?
It's like he's not supposed to be here, and it's payment or like collateral that they need to take me.
Mm-hmm. Something he owed them something and you're the payment?
Yeah, sort of like it's like they're watching him and he can't step out of line. And so they're taking me as leverage.
Mm-hmm. So allow yourself to connect telepathically, mind to mind, with your father. And as you do, see if you get a sense of what it is that he's done or why it is that he's using you as collateral.
Hmm. I think he accidentally harmed one of these people's families.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't want me to see exactly what he did, but he didn't mean to.
So tell me what happens next. What happens to you?
They take me away, and I think they give me to, I see this woman, they give me to this woman. She's very uh regal looking. She has lots of white clothes and it's like draped over her in a very intricate way, but she has this white wrap on her head. It makes her head look very long.
Mm. And how do you feel in her presence?
I'm kind of awed by the way she looks. She's like a statue you can't touch, but she's very pleased to take me. So
Mhm.
she seems nice.
And does she feel, do you feel that this is a human earth life that you're looking at? Does it feel like another life in another place? Do you get a sense of that?
No, I think it's an Earth life.
Okay. And so this woman, you've been given to this woman. Tell me what happens next. What does she do, or where does she take you?
I think it's her home. Uh, there's a few other kids that she's like in charge of.
Do you feel like these are her kids, or are they like you?
They're like me.
So tell me what happens as you get there.
She likes for us all to sit in a room. It's like we're in class, like she's teaching us something.
Mhm. Focus in on the lesson or what she's teaching or showing you and tell me what it is.
I think it's a combination of things that she's teaching us. Uh, I think some of it is like alchemy. I see lots of stones.
And how do you feel about what she's teaching you?
I'm confused about it at first. It seems kind of strange to me. But it's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So just allow yourself to move forward in this scene to the next important moment, or even forward to the next important scene that you need to see. Tell me what happens next, where you go.
I think I'm older now.
Mm-hmm. How old are you there?
I'm a teenager. I'm 13.
Are you still there with her?
Yeah.
Tell me what's happened since you first got there. How has your life changed? What have you experienced?
That's very regimented. I didn't get to play as much as I did before. But this woman seems to like me. She treats us all well, so it's not a bad situation.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I get the sense that there's some kind of war going on that we're not touched by, but it's starting to worry her.
Mm. And what about your father? Have you seen him since you were given to her?
No, I get the sense that he might not be living anymore.
Mm. And so, is there anything specific that she's been training you for, sharing this information? Or is this just her way of providing learning for you?
I think it's her way of providing learning for us. Like, it's not unusual what she's teaching us. But I think she feels a lot of pressure to teach us now because of the war that's going on.
Allow yourself just to tune into that war, connect with it, and see if you can understand who it is at war or what's happening. Do you have a sense of that?
I think it's something with Atlantis.
Ah, there we go. Okay. It felt like this was otherworldly to me, but that makes sense now that it's in Atlantis. And so, does it feel like this is all happening at the time of the destruction of Atlantis, or is this another time period?
Yeah, it's to do with the destruction of Atlantis.
Okay. And so just move forward again to the next important scene, the next important thing that you need to see or understand. To be there now. Tell me what's happening where you are.
She's taking, I want to call her Serene, the woman that,
Mm-hmm.
so she's taking us somewhere. She's very frantic.
Yes. And tell me where she takes you.
This big, big, clear crystal. She's taking us to this big, clear crystal.
What is the purpose of that clear crystal? What does it do?
I think it's to try to protect us. I see her, she wants us to like try to give it energy.
Mm-hmm. So she wants you to give it energy or take energy from it.
Take.
Okay. And how do you do that?
We place our hands on it and we ask it to.
And so tell me what happens when you do that.
It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But I see like I see like an electric grid kind of.
Mm-hmm. Tell me, describe the grid for me. What does it look like?
It looks, so I see it above us
Mm-hmm.
and within us kind of, and it's crystalline, it's shiny, white energy.
Mm-hmm. And does it feel like this grid was created by the crystal? Does it have anything to do with that crystal? Or is it separate?
It feels like the crystal is a part of this grid. Like
Mm-hmm.
not the crystal. Crystal helped create it, but it's not the only thing helping to create it.
And so, do you get a sense of what this grid does, what it's for?
I think originally it's for protection, but I think it can be turned into some sort of portal.
Mm-hmm. And how do you feel it's being used in this scene that you're looking at for protection or as a portal?
I think Serene's trying to use it as a portal.
Okay. Allow yourself to move forward just a bit in this scene Tell me what happens with this grid.
I think it's trying to be destroyed. Serene's trying to get it to work.
So you feel like she's trying to get it to work, but maybe someone else is trying to destroy it?
Yeah, it feels like because it's only a part, one part,
Mhm.
that someone's trying to attack another part,
Okay.
and it's not working correctly.
Okay. So what happens next with this grid?
I think it stops work. It's not working.
Mm-hmm.
Serene takes our hands and starts running.
Mm-hmm. And where does she take you?
I think she's trying to take us to a boat.
And tell me if you find a boat, what happens next?
I feel like I can see a boat. There's lots of smoke. I keep seeing these big black things. I don't know what they are.
Mm-hmm. Connect with those black things that you see. Tap into all of your knowing. What are they?
I feel like they're not human.
Mm. Do you get a sense of what they're doing? Or why they're there?
Just to destroy, I think.
And so you see these black creature like things, but you also see a boat. Tell me, do you make it to the boat? Or where do you go?
Mm. I see I think we make it to a boat. I don't think Serene makes it.
What happens to her?
I think she was distracting some of those beings so we could get away.
And so tell me, do you make it to the boat or what happens to you?
We make it to the boat, but I don't think our boat makes it.
Mm. What happens? What do you see?
Like something hits her boat.
And what happens to the boat?
See smoke coming up and gets set on fire.
And what happens to you in that boat?
I think, yeah, I drowned.
So allow yourself to go to that very last moment, taking your last breath in that body. What was the last thing that you were thinking as you passed from that body?
Why?
So simply allow your soul to gently release out of that physical body, coming up and out of the body. And as your soul comes out of the body, you can look back over that lifetime that you lived. Tell me what the purpose of living that life was.
Hmm. I think it was to learn was the purpose. And then you learn from different sides.
And what do you need to understand about that experience on the boat, losing your life in that boat? What was the reason for that experience?
It's something about understanding that there's no gains in the destruction. It feels like it was just like one piece, one piece. One piece of the experience.
So now that you've listened to the past life and saw that I was a child who was taken away from her father and taken to this mystery school. That's just what I'm calling it because I don't know what else to call it, but it's more of like an energy school, and then experience some sort of natural disaster and drowned. So thanks for making it through the video. Let's talk about some of the things I censored and what I learned from the Akashic records since. So my father that we saw early in the scene, I am a child, a small child. I felt like I was pretty small, like 5, maybe a little younger or a little older, so 5, give or take. I had white blonde hair. Similar to my other past life where I saw in Atlantis, there was a lot of white and light colors. However, my father was not wearing those colors. He looked like he was wearing kind of armor and like a coppery brown color. It sort of reminded me of an armadillo, like the texture of it. I don't know. Anyways, I don't know if he actually was wearing that color or if that's just kind of how I saw him and his energy. Anyways, so when we go to talk to the council, I felt very much like this little girl kind of knew that someone was tuning into her. I'm not quite sure. Sometimes that can happen because time is not real. You know, time, everything is happening now. And when Heather, the hypnosis practitioner, asked me to tune into my father to see if I could tell what was going on and why I was going to be leaving, given to these people and this council member, I knew in that moment that in this life I was telepathic. I also knew that my father was telepathic and probably a lot of other people. And when I said, like, I feel like he doesn't want me to see, he was blocking me. And I confirmed that in the Akashic records as well, that he was blocking me because he was going to be executed and he didn't want me to know that that was going to happen to him and see what was going to happen to him. So what I got from the Akashic records is that my father was warring faction, but that's not exactly correct. More like a protesting faction who was protesting very strongly the council taking children away from their family and taking them to these energy schools. And so he was going to be executed for that. What I learned from my guides is, because you mentioned I have a sibling at the beginning, I couldn't access this in the Akashic records because I only opened my Akashic records and not my brother's, because I don't know who he is in this life and I don't have his permission to open his records. Is that he was not going to an energy school. He didn't have energy abilities. I did because the vaccine, which I confirmed in the Akashic records, there was a vaccine administered at some point in Atlantis that hindered a lot of people from accessing their energetic skills and their aptitude to work with energy. So my brother did not have this ability, and my guide said that he went to become, because I had some kind of knowing that he went to fight something, that he went to fight for the Lemurian army. So our Mu, so Lemuria and Mu, it's the ancient civilization that is believed to be around Hawaii, or was part of Hawaii's landmass. That was a little bit more, Atlantis was spiritually evolved too, but they were just more focused on their spirituality, oneness, love, and those kinds of things than they were the more power Atlantis was focused on. And had disputes, conflicts with Atlantis. I believe eventually was colonized by Atlantis and then also destroyed. Whether that was at the same time as Atlantis or before, I'm not sure. I know there's other books through hypnosis that discuss this and other things that discuss the history of it. But honestly, I can't retain a lot of that information that I'm getting about Atlantis from those sources. I think that's because I'm supposed to figure it out for myself and what my own experience is. So anyways, yeah, my brother went to fight for Lemuria according to my guides. So then back to me with this energy ability that the vaccine did not take away from me. So confirmed that this vaccine was a thing in the Akashic records. At some point in Atlantis history, there was an illness. I've heard some people say a virus, but Akashic records just said an illness that they developed a vaccine for, and this vaccine did hinder a lot of people from working with energy. So Atlantis became desperate to train people to work with energy, who could work with energy, to keep up all the things in their society that ran on more metaphysical type energies. Now, a lot of our technology today uses crystals. A lot of their technology used crystals then, but I think it required a little bit more intention from people to charge and work with them. You know, a lot of their transportation, worked with crystals, lighting, all sorts of different things as far as I can tell. Okay, so anyways, get to this energy school. I knew that it was training more on metaphysical things and energy, that we were working with rocks, crystals, meditating. I saw that, but I didn't say that. I don't know why. I think I had just like trouble believing what I was seeing and things. And then so I was at this school for several years. In the past life, I mentioned, I think the woman's name, the teacher's name is Seren. That was not her name. That was my name. I asked, confirmed in the Akashic records. The teacher's name was Taris, or Taris, Taris, or the closest thing to it is Taris. When we were going, when whatever disaster was happening, when we were going to this large crystal that powered this grid where Terrace was calling for help, it felt like to me like my visuals like were shaking. So like the world was shaking, kind of like an earthquake or something that would cause a lot of vibration, maybe like a bomb, a volcano, is what it felt like going to this crystal. And then when we get to the crystal, I knew that Terrace was calling for help and that it was galactic. I didn't say that as much as I could have said that in the hypnosis, but I also felt like I knew that it was hopeless. And it felt like I knew that there was some sort of manipulation going on from whoever Terrace was calling for help from. Like maybe there was some manipulation there and that they weren't actually helpful. So yeah, so then we have this grid that I can see of a light grid. I think it's some sort of matrix, honestly, that's what I think. And Terrace was trying to activate that grid, but it wasn't as strong as it used to be, is the feeling I got. And then also felt like she was trying to open some sort of portal or something connected to ley lines to travel through to escape and call for help. And then so that didn't work. So she distracted these things so I could get away. So these things that I saw that were black, big black things, looked to me like robots. And I didn't say that because I was like, never heard of robots in Atlantis. Like, I don't know. Is this a thing? Has anyone else heard of robots attacking Atlantis? And they were big, like huge, multiple stories high, like I would say like 2 or 3 stories high, like compared to my size, which I was a teenager at this point. And like looked like things out of Transformers, honestly. And I was like, these are robots. These look like robots. And the Akashic records, these were not robots. They were some sort of fighting vessel. So that had beings in it of a galactic nature. And not everyone could see them. So I guess I could see them because of the energy work I was doing. But if you couldn't see them, you just thought there was an earthquake or volcanic activity coming from the sky, which is wild. That's wild to me. I hope someone else has heard of this. And then, anyways, yeah, have this robots, and then I get on a boat and I drown. So I get really close to escaping. It's weird because when I see past lives, like I've had a lot of traumatic deaths in my past lives, but it always feels like I'm meant to go then. Like I've like learned what I've came here to learn, got the info I came here, and now it's done. is how it sort of usually feels. So I don't usually feel a lot of the trauma. And then I think that's it. Yeah. So that's it for what I got from the Akashic records. So I did ask the Akashic records about the location I could look up on my astrocartography map connected to this live, and all it said was look in the ocean and you'll know. And I was like, but come on, I need like a location because I'm trying to figure out patterns. So I need like something sort of semi-concrete. And they're like, you'll know. So the location that I looked up, I'm gonna put what it looks like on the astrocartography map here. Now, it's in the Atlantic, the middle of the Atlantic, and I do have planetary lines a little bit closer to the East Coast and to the Caribbean, but for some reason, these lines, just like I knew that's where it was. And I don't have any other thing more concrete than that. Some of my lines closer to the East Coast and Caribbean would make sense for past lives, but I just feel like it was this. And it is kind of close to the Azores, although not close enough to have an influence with the astrocartography map. Atlantic's very big, so it's not that close. And the lines that were here were my Mercury midheaven, my moon ascendant, and my moon Mercury Haran crossing. So the places where two planets cross, creating that horizontal line that create a unique combination of those planetary energies. So I'm thinking it was somewhere right near this crossing. And then my moon Jupiter Paran. And all these lines are very pleasant, very kind of sensitive, compassionate, a lot with communication and warmth, intuitive communication, again, that kind of emotional intelligence, or being soft-hearted and open. Yeah, and being well-intentioned. So what I felt when I saw these is this is all about like my childlikeness, like my child open vulnerability, sense of wonder, and kind of just going into whatever the adults wanted me to. Like you even hear me say like, Tara's the teacher, she's like nice to us, like it's fine kind of thing, when I was definitely forced into that role and into that school. So it very much represents to me the childlike vulnerability. So that's really all I have for this video. If you're interested, again, in your own past lives or healing, self-healing through energetic clearing, please have a look at my website. Happy to help you, and I'd be honored to go on this journey with you. If you're interested more in the locations of Atlantis, I am doing a series on TikTok and on YouTube about what I'm finding in the Akashic records on Atlantis. I plan to open up the records for all the hypothesized locations of Atlantis and just see if I can get anything about their connection to Atlantis, if any. So you can check that out. But otherwise, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.